What can people learn from you?
Well, I think people can learn from me that no matter what situation you're in, um, if you need to make a change in your life, it takes courage to make a change. Whether you're choosing to get divorced and you have 4 young children and you are currently not working because you chose to stay home and care for your children, or whether you get sick. I think what people can learn from me is that you have to face your fears. Like, I didn't know what was going to be on the other side when I got divorced. I only knew that I wasn't happy and that I wanted you guys to be happy and I wanted to be happy. And I knew that if I'm not happy here, I have to get out of where I'm not happy to get to a place where I can be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you don't have to know where you're going necessarily. You just have to move away from unhappiness and from a place where you're not being true to yourself to a place where you are being true to yourself. And I think if you do that, you'll move towards happiness in life.
Yeah.
I think, so you don't always need to know where you're going. You just need to feel that you're not being held back. You're not making decisions out of fear or because you don't know what somebody might say or how somebody might react, because it really doesn't matter. You have to do what's best for yourself, and I think the rest will follow. So I think that's probably one thing people could learn from me. Are we supposed to say more, or
If
just
you
that one?
think there's more, you could.
I mean,
I think that's the biggest one.
one other thing is that I talk to a lot of people that make decisions because they think it's the right way to be. Like Maria, Vince, her husband. He has a big family, and Judy would say that I have to buy a gift for this one, and I have to do the 7 fishes on Christmas Eve because it's the Italian tradition, and I have to do this and I have to do that. And I honestly think that rules in society, I think they keep people from being who they should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly care only about what a very few people think. And pretty much it's just me and my children. I really don't, as long as like you guys are good with me and I'm making good decisions, because like every decision I make automatically includes how will this impact you guys. So it's like I don't have to think about it. It's like we're 5 people, but we're one in a way. That sounds weird, but every decision I make, I think about what impact. How will that affect? But it doesn't mean that I don't make a decision that sometimes is just good for me. So I think it's good to not worry so much about what reaction you think people are going to make or have about a decision you make, or you think, oh, I am this age, so I have to wear my hair like an 80-year-old woman. Well, no, I don't. I can wear my hair however I want, as long as I'm happy.
Yeah.
And as long as my kids don't think I look like a freak, then I'm okay with it. So, and I think I would know if my hair was freaky as an 80-year-old. But, just like I don't want a mom do. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I think you have to live by your own rules.
Yeah.
You have to be good to people. You have to be kind and treat others like you want to be treated and all of that stuff. But I really don't care what people think about me. I know I'm a good person. I know I make good decisions. I know I help a lot of people. But if somebody gets upset with me, that's really their problem, not mine. And I think if more people just made decisions that were best for themselves and not worried about, well, it's the right thing to do. Because you can be a good person and do the right thing for other people, but you still have to do the right thing for yourself.
Growing up, what or who was one of the biggest influences in your life that helped you become who you are?
Well, you can't tell Nana this.
I won't
But
tell
honestly,
Nana.
honestly, I would say one of the biggest people for me growing up was Papa. Because I think from a very young age, he was very involved in all of our lives. And I think you know this. Having an involved father, a father who listens to you and hears you and understands you and encourages you, can make all the difference in the world. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Nana was very good too. But I just remember having lots of interesting conversations with Papa. Like, he would take me to like my piano lessons, and he would come to my ballet recitals, and he would come to my Girl Scout meetings if I was, getting a new badge or something. Like, Papa always showed up. He always showed up. It was one time, Nana and Papa had a really big fight, and we were all like sitting at the top of the stairs, and we were like, oh my God, are they going to get a divorce? And Papa kind of, the next night, of course, he left that night because they were so mad at each other. They just left, and he slept in his truck. But the next night, we were all together for dinner, and he automatically knew what we needed to hear. Like, he already knew, and he said at dinner time, your mother and I are not going to get a divorce. We're just arguing. It's normal. It happens. So he always said what needed to be said in the simplest way, and I think I'm a lot like that. I think I get to the heart of the matter pretty quickly, and I'm a good read on people. I don't know if that's just something I've learned or inherited or whatever it is, but I'd say Papa was probably, in the early years, the biggest influence, because I remember him more sitting and talking with me than I remember Nana. And we would talk about things like history, religion, not in a weird, kooky way, but just like, is there a God, and that kind of stuff. Like, we had these really interesting conversations. We used to play a lot of card games together. He was just a very involved father, and I think that maybe is why I had the inner strength to do some of the harder things in life I had to do when I was older.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That would be my answer for that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Um.
The first time I was diagnosed with cancer, in 2006, it never really was this, life-threatening thing, but you hear the word cancer. In 2006, you were all small. Tommy was, at the time, or was it 4 in 2006? So Tommy was like 5. You were all under 10.
Mm-hmm.
So what I had to do was I had to learn to get a grip, is what I had to do. I had to learn to, so I remember I had the biopsy, and, I got a call that I had it, and I remember vividly that you were in health class, and you were studying about cancer, and you came, and you didn't know any about this going on, but you said something about cancer and how, that would be terrible if anybody got that So I was like, right around that time, I learned about this small little pea-sized tumor. And I said to myself, some people may have made different decisions. I made the decision to keep it from all of you because I thought it would scare you and change who you were, like your carefree way of life, just being free and kids and not really having these big worries. So I chose to keep it to myself. So the boys went to Ronnie's, and you and Violet went to Debbie's, and for the weekend, or the Friday, I had my surgery. Saturday, Sunday, I was at home, kind of just recuperating, and then you guys came home on Monday. You never knew at that age that I had surgery, or that I was having radiation treatments for 6 weeks. I chose not to tell you because I think for me, if I had told you, it would have made it more real, like I'm dealing with this thing. And I knew that I was going to be okay. And I knew that you were too young to understand, like, for cancer might scare you guys, like think, oh my God, my mother's going to die. And I thought, I knew I was going to be fine. So I chose, at that time in your lives, to keep it to myself. So nobody knew. And I think my biggest challenge was learning how to put things in perspective, which I was always good at. But even more so, I learned how to, like, look at the facts, almost separate, like step out of my body and say, okay, here's the facts of what I'm dealing with. I have this treatment plan. They got it all. It's going to be fine. Yep, I'm going to have radiation. That's just a precaution. Yep, I'm going to take some medicine for 5 years. All good. And I thought, I learned, this is why I rarely get upset when there's a problem or a situation, because it has taught me to get a grip, take a breath, and say, okay, let's get rid of all the noise of the upsetness and the drama and all this other crap, and let's just think about what's the problem that we have to solve. Let's break it down into steps. Let's get the information and let's solve it. And I think it has served me well personally, and it has served me in like my career, because it's one of the things that people value about me at work is that I'm very rational and I can see a problem and I can just see a solution. So I think that was something I learned from that situation.
Yeah.
That to me, that's a crisis. Some of the things that people come to me with at work or in life, that's not a crisis. So I worry about the big things, but I take care of what I can to prepare for it, and I don't let the small stuff bother me, and I don't engage in drama. I like a good gossip story. I like to hear a good gossip story, but I don't like to engage in drama. Sometimes you have to defend yourself and fight back and make your point known, but I don't like drama swirling around me. It's too much. It's too stressful. So I think those are two of the things I've learned. I've learned to get a grip. I guess you could say it. Yeah.
Going into this project, I have like an idea of who everyone that I'm going to talk to is, and I'm curious to find out in asking this question is like, do you see yourself how I see you, and therefore like how other people see you, and maybe even everyone sees you? So like, yeah, who do you think you are?
I know, I get the question. I think it's an interesting question because I always wonder, do other people see me the way I see myself? And I really don't know what the answer is. I think people see me as someone who, at least I think you guys do, and I know people at work here do, and I know mom and dad and family members do, and even my friends do, I guess. They see me as someone that always knows the answer, that can always solve a problem, that always has the right advice, who always remains calm, who, is loyal and expects loyalty in return, and someone that's worthy of respect, I think, is how I see myself. And I think someone that is kind, but can be tough when I have to be. But my kids may not see me as tough enough, especially like sometimes if they think I'm being soft, which I can be soft on my kids when they need things. But I think I have a good balance there. I think people can see me as someone that can get a lot done, manage a lot, juggle a lot of things. But I think also I hope people see me as someone that values the right things in life. I think people think my heart is in the right place. I usually try to do the right thing. Sometimes I take on too much, but I've gotten better at it, I think. I care about, like the mind, like having good conversations, and I care about staying up to date on things, and I think character matters, and I don't see myself as funny. I think maybe other people may see me as funny. I don't think I'm traditionally funny. I can't tell a joke to save my life, but although I do appreciate a good joke, I think I'm funny in like I do funny things, or I might say funny things, but I think I'm just real, and I don't pretend to be perfect, or have all the answers. Although I think people think I have all the answers.
Yes.
I think I have found a way for myself to work. I follow my heart. I follow my gut. I try to do what's right. I try to be fair. If I can help somebody, I will. But if I can't help because it's going to just take too much out of me to help, then I'll try to do what I can. But I don't go overboard. I've learned my lessons in life. I don't really know what my faults are. I've been told I'm perfect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been told there's nothing wrong with me. I know that's not true. I know that's not true. Nobody's perfect. I try to be a good mom.
Yes.
I know mothers can make mistakes. I've tried to always make the right decisions for the right reasons. And, time will tell. So far, so good. Time will tell how, how the lessons in the raising that you have, and the guidance you've received, and the love and the caring, if that, and if or the divorce, if it's going to have lasting impact into your adulthood in a positive or negative way. Hopefully it'll be positive. Excellent.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll talk with you soon.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
All right. Bye, sweetie.
Bye, Mom.